let's get started. Thank you so much for being here today for our first, you're actually part of history today. So, pat yourself on the back. This is the first small business workshop ever held at the Mesquite Chamber of Commerce. So this is a big day for us. We will also be filming all of these. So if your notes are not that great, you always have a chance to go back and watch the recording as well. So these will be in a library on our website. So you can also send your friends and family and colleagues to our website for this information. Before we really get started, this would not be possible without my two sponsors, Spectre Bank and America's Credit Union. Had it not been for the partnership with these two organizations, we would never have been here today and this event happening. So I wanted to give both of them a chance to just talk to y'all a little bit about what they do as organizations. So why don't we start with Brandon with America's Credit Union first.
For those of you who don't know who we are, or maybe have never even heard of us, we're just a local financial institution here at DFW. We have 5 locations throughout the Metroplex, with one being out of state in Springfield, Missouri. We were fortunate enough to start our Mesquite office back in 2012, but prior to that, we were founded as a company back in 1934. So we've been around the Metroplex almost 100 years now. We are formerly known as Craft Credit Union. And what's really special about America's Credit Union, which is our newly adopted name after a couple of mergers and acquisitions, we're actually a not-for-profit financial institution. That's something that really distinguishes us as a credit union in the finance world. What that means is all of our deposits, our lending, all the money that we bring in, we have the ability to turn around and reinvest it back to our communities. It's something that we're really passionate about as a credit union. We're really invested in our small businesses. And we just love the opportunity to be able to connect personally on that level and be able to meet the business owners in our community face to face. One thing that we're really passionate about is personal finances. So we don't step foot into the commercial lending or the business banking realm. We leave that to our friends and our co-sponsors, to Spectre Bank. But we like to stick with our personal finances. So whether it's you guys or you have employees that have personal finance needs, we want to be there for you guys. Whatever your guys' passions are, our motto with America's Credit Union is to make your passions our priority. So whether you guys are looking for an auto loan, a mortgage, a credit card, a personal loan, an interest yielding checking account, that's what we specialize in. So whatever you guys have a passion for, we want to make that our priority and help you guys in whatever you guys need. When Alexander first pitched this idea of the Small Business Workshop, we were just so thrilled. This was perfect for us. This was right up our alley to be able to be here with you guys and be able to connect personally with y'all. We're so excited to see what these next 8 sessions are going to bring. So please be here, hunker down, buckle up. This is going to be an amazing time. But with that, that's really all I have. You gave me 3 minutes, and I knew I wasn't going to use up all 3 minutes. But I'll go ahead and introduce my friend Julian with Spectre Bank. So.
Good morning, my name is Julian Bowman. I'm a commercial leader with Spectre Bank. We're a small community bank located in Dallas. Also have an office in Fort Worth. We're a local bank. We make local decisions. We can do a lot of things a lot of banks cannot do, especially for small business owners. We also help new business owners develop their businesses. So our focus is the same as Credit Union. We're focused on our communities. We want to help. We want to give back. One thing we do specialize in is money service businesses, check cashing companies. So that's a vital service to all communities. That's something we like to give back and like to help out in communities. But other than that, commercial checking, commercial loans, we do offer personal accounts, but we specialize in the commercial spectrum. So if any of you have any questions, commercial lending, or just any questions about business really, I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with you. We're not just bankers, we also advise you. We're here to help. So any questions, welcome, and please come talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Like it was mentioned, 8 sessions here, and it's going to be every second Wednesday for the next 8 months. If you're a superhero, you attend all 8 of these because you're investing in your business. All of these dates will be on our website, so you can go ahead and register. All of them will be free of charge, regardless if you're a chamber member or not. This is just information that y'all need to grow your business. With that, I'm going to move on to our speaker for today. y'all are really blessed because you get the best of the best. For those of y'all that don't know SBDC, y'all have an amazing resource ahead of you. For those of y'all that have used SBDC, go back and utilize them even more because you have not used their full fleet of services. So with that, I'm going to welcome up Karen Buggage. She's going to help you build your business plan. Give it up for Karen.
Love to be here. I love everything that you're doing here in Mesquite. Congratulations to you, Alexander. And I know all of you guys will be well blessed just to be a part of this and the growth and the development that takes place with the chambers, as well as with the partnerships that we're creating. All right, how to build a business plan. All of you are here because you're either in business, starting a business, or want to make your business or trying to do something in your business to show that you can either be bankable, have a business plan or create or whatever it is that you're trying to do, correct? All right, this is interactive. It's okay. You can speak with me. Okay, so SBDC, again, is funded through SBA, so we want to make sure it is our interest to see that our small businesses do well. And a lot of small business owners come to us and they don't have a plan. What is a plan? Basically, and everything there, I don't have to read everything directly, but basically it's necessary to set your direction. We want you to set your direction. Well, you heard no direction, no focus. What happens? You're driving, you're not focused, no direction. What happens? Thank you. All right, establish priorities, identify success factors, and help prioritize your activities. We don't want you just to be working just to be working. You want to be working to be productive. The whole purpose of having a business is because you want to, say again? Make money and grow and do something to the, add to the community, add value to your community, to your family. And a lot of people nowadays are saying about legacy. They want to create a business that can be ongoing and have a legacy. So, all of this, believe it or not, is going to be sections in your business plan as you grow. This is still a roadmap, how you're developing and what you're planning on doing and where you're going to go. And then again, understand your business, your needs, your growth, your audience, and then make sure you communicate effectively. All right, the anatomy of the business plan, very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, comprehensive. It needs to be comprehensive because you are introducing this plan to someone else, be it a banker, lender, or an investor, or something to that, or even for yourself, even if you have a partner, to say, this is what we're doing, this is what we want to do, this is why we want to do this. All right? Outline your organization. What are the goals? And then detail how you attend or how you plan to attend those goals, achieve those goals. And then 3 would be, should you expand? A lot of times for the first 3 years, people anticipate, I'm going to do this, and we're going to make our first $1 million in the first 3 months, and then we're going to expand. It's possible, but you still need to have a roadmap and stair steps on how you plan on doing that. And then 4, including everything from concept to financials and sales forecasts. I'm happy to know that there were 3 bankers here today and probably more. And then they'll probably introduce you to a few more as well as we continue to grow and attend all of the 8 sessions that he spoke of for Mesquite Chamber, but it would help you to be able to focus, direct, and grow in the way that you should. So it's sustainable. That's the whole purpose. We want sustainable businesses. Basic elements, cover sheet. A lot of people say, oh, I don't need a cover sheet, or they do something florally in design and all of this other stuff. The cover sheet is just simple. It says who you are. Name a business. Give me a business. Somebody's business name. Starbucks? We don't want to talk about the big business. I'm talking about small businesses here.
MVP Nutrition.
MVP Nutrition. MVP Nutrition, like most valuable player nutrition. See? MVP Nutrition. Hopefully they have a logo. One day they may have a website. But if you have a cover sheet and you're introducing this to someone, that's what the whole purpose of your business plan for yourself, but also it's going to go to your lender or anyone else that you're looking to do some type of financial dealings with. They need to know who you are. You can put MVP Nutrition all day, all night, but if you have nothing else on that cover sheet, who is MVP? Okay? Same thing, executive summary. It's a summation of the entire plan itself. You don't have to make it 14 pages. No, the summary, 1 to 2 pages. And it's basically saying who, what, when, why, how, and where you're planning on and what you're going to do. Your business concept, that's your vision. And then your mission, the products and services or services. Some of you, how many of you in here are service product Services? How many of you are product? So you do both? Okay, good. So it's a nice mix. And so, but you need to be able to spell that out as well. Then they talk about market analysis, market planning. We're not going to go into detail about that, but this is what some of your chambers and your partners, such as SBDC, would help you do. We have the tools to help you do your market analysis, your marketing plan, and things of that nature. Operations, you should have that and know what you're planning on, how you're going to operate. Ownership, management. Are you buying a franchise? Do you own it yourself? Are you a partnership? All of those type of things, you do have to outline that and identify that. Financial data. Do you have the funds to start this business? How are you starting this business? Critical risk. What's the problems and stuff? Everyone's heard of SWOT, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Those are the type of things you think about as you're developing your business plan. Because you want to know what roadblock is going to hit you. Those businesses that have been successful, and we know what the big shutdown was for the country 3 years ago, we won't mention it, but those who were able to pivot because they knew what their SWOTs were able to be successful and remain open and thrive through that, all right? As well as they had a plan and they had their financials and they were able to get extra funding through SBA, all right? So, step one, cover sheet should include, anyone want to read, that's fine, name of business, logo, and then you can state that it says business plan. And then, you know, the draft of the plan, because you're going to draft it. The plan may be remaining the same, but you'll make some changes, and you may want to keep that for yourself. But lower at the bottom, add your contact information. If this was electronically sent to someone, and they had it, and they know your name is, your business name is Let's Do Lunch, but there's 17 Let's Do Lunches, and yours is sitting in the computer, how do they know which one, who to contact? They have to read through the entire plan, maybe at the end, maybe at the bottom. Have it right there on that cover sheet. If you have a fax, if you have a website, if you have phone number, cell, email, make sure that it's on that cover sheet, okay? Make it legible. Don't be overly stylish unless you're in that industry. I met this young lady here. She's in the arts and artisan industry. Okay, but you still want it to be legible. This is a banker who's looking at this. How many bankers want to see all this multicolored, you know, this beautiful multicolored stuff? Do you want to see that? What did they just say? No, they want it to be boom, bam. They want to be able to see it, read it, and get it. You can make your pretty for your marketing stuff, but not for your business plan, okay? And then executive summary. Again, what type of business are you operating? What will you do? Are you selling? Are you sharing? For profit? Hopefully. Nonprofit? It's okay. But what need, vision prompted you to develop this product or service? We don't want your history of, well, I was cooking cookies with my mother and grandmother 20 years ago and da-da-da-da. No, we want to know that your bakery you have a recipe and you've been selling these cookies and they're better than Mrs. Fields. You know, something to that, and then you can put your date, your time, and all of that other stuff in it. Who are your customers? And then what qualify you to provide and do a management of this? You know, maybe you've been working in corporate America or doing something else for X amount of years and you're great at management skills. You're great at personnel skills. Or you're great at, or you've transitioned and you have that IT skill or whatever the business is that you have that you're doing, all right? And then how you're going to price your services, basically how you plan to make money. You know, is this going to be a business that you're in that'll continue to grow, or is it one that's waning? You know, and do you need capital to start? That's the whole purpose really for this business plan. Ultimately, it's to keep you on point and to keep you directed, but also to know, what do I need to start this business? I need 20,000? Do I need 50,000? Will I have that? Am I going to use some of my own money? How much of my own money should I use? Can I get a loan? Will I be able to get a loan? Are there grants? Whatever, things like that. But that's what you want to incorporate. And then what are your assessed risks? Again, SWOT. Knowing yourself. I'm not going to sit up here and sing, and I know I'm not a singer, right? You don't want me to see me dance, and I know I'm not a dancer. You go to concerts and things like that for a specific reason or different venues, correct? Same thing. Know what your business is and outline it so that it makes sense to whoever's reading it. All right, vision. Everyone says, oh, okay, what's vision? Well, basically, it's your objectives, what your wants, your values. Is it feasible? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? You know, my vision is I want everyone to be that Coca-Cola Make the World Happy song in the 70s. You know, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Yeah, you guys are probably way too young for that. But anyway, but how do you get that? What is it? Is it objective? Is it realistic? Is it reasonable? And then a descriptive picture of the desired, your future state. This is where you start off. Maybe you started baking your breads in your kitchen, you're selling them, things of that nature. Eventually now you're selling more. What's the next move? Will you try to get a brick and mortar, or will you go and rent like a commercial kitchen for a minute? What does that cost? All of that. So this is why the business concept and the vision and the mission, how you plan. Mission is basically how you plan to accomplish it. Everybody's familiar with Mission Impossible, right? They give him the mission, right? They tell him what happened, but his mission impossible is how does he get to make it work? How does he get successful? How does he get through the objective? That's the same thing. I'm not having you guys jump out of planes. That's why we're building a business plan. Simple, you know, with perfect objectives for yourself, and then a roadmap for yourself. And then why you're going to exist. And are you going to exist now? Or, you know, how do you intend to exist in the future? Right now with AI, everything is changing so quickly. So you need to know, how will you continue to be able to sustain with the changes? All right, define your products and your services. Each one of you, if I went through this entire room, each one of you should have your 30-second commercial that you can say what you do, where you do it, what your limitations are. Or not, you don't have to tell me your limitations, but what you do. You know, what is it that you do? If you can't say that verbally in 30 seconds, then try to write it down in 10 minutes on a piece of paper and then rehearse it. Because this is part of who your vision is, you know. You do art. You create beautiful, and I said murals, but you said no, but interior design, right? Same thing. You do CBD store. Okay, that's fine. You do what, health, nutrition, wellness program, products, or something like that. So yeah, you want to be able to speak what it is that you do so people understand what it is that you're selling a product. You're providing a service. See the difference? You need to be able to speak that out and say that. All right. And if you have a brand, a logo, and all of that, because every time you use your name, you want to use your logo as well. Same thing on your business plan. Just put it on the cover sheet. That's what we wanted. Market analysis, this is what you get partners for. This is what you work through the chamber. This is what you work with SBDC. You know, we can provide some of this for you and show you, give you the tools to be able to run analysis that makes sense, all right? Demographics, age, you know, if you have a, well, CBD could be anyone, art could be anything, I don't know, anybody has anything specific, insurance could be anyone, correct? So if you had something that maybe you were selling to maybe a certain age demographic, or, you know, maybe you're into hip hop and it's street clothing that you're making and you're selling, you know, you're not going to try to sell that to an 80-year-old person or someone in a nursing home, correct? So just understanding that, you said, well, we might. I know, okay, I know. Yeah, I know. What is it? The 80 is the new 20? Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm off. All right, and then how do you plan your vision? You know, what's your marketing strategy? You always should have that. You may love your cookies and making your cookies, and you were giving them out to your church or giving them out to your kids, taking them to school for parties and things like that. Everybody loved them. They said they're so great, but nobody paid you a penny for them yet. So now you're going to start selling them, and you have to plan on how to market. Don't be offended if your client, if your family who love you, don't buy your product right off the bat. Okay, but it's okay. That's why you make your marketing plan and strategically market to people outside to get a non-biased opinion and see if the sales are realistic. And then how will you go from there? Because your family loves you. Either they're going to say they're wonderful or they're going to be like, you know, but get a non-biased opinion. All right, and then for whom you're doing it. So marketing plan, again, 7 steps to creating a marketing plan, but I'm not going to go into depth. but that's to show you that you do need a marketing plan, all right? And there are some tools out there, there's some software, as well as when you're working with your partners here, whether with the chamber or through SBDC, we can help you develop those, all right? And defining your business of operations, it's again the administration of business, it's practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible. So again, geography, where are you located? You know, e-commerce, if you have a website, are you going to have e-commerce ability on that website? You still put that in your business plan, because that can change as times go. You know, I mean, all of you probably under 40 years of age in this room, more or less, but for the most part, how many people knew what www was 40, 45, 50 years ago? I can't even remember when it came out. So, again, he said he raised his hand. Okay, so the same thing. Put that in your business plan, but be able to, so this is your original plan, and you're creating it, you're drafting it, and it'll change somewhat. And now that's why we have the date. This was the original plan, 1996. This is when we started, this is the business. So now you have your update. You can pick most of that same information, but just tweak it. Because now you have AI, now you have different type of thing. In a minute it's going to be, what is that, 3D graphics phone thingy that you could see 3 ways and stuff instead of just talking on the phone and having it in your ear. So same difference. How will your business change and adapt to the changes so you can be continuous and to grow, all right? Operational plan, it should be who does what, you know, what is required. Do you have to have a degree? Do you have to have certifications? Do you have to have, you know, whatever your limitations are? You know, if you're sole proprietor, limited liability company, most of them are LLCs, or you can do LLCs and do it as an S Corp, but all of that, you want to identify that. Legal, you know, of course, they talk about what kind of legal assistance do you have in your business. Because you are part of the Dallas Metropolitan SBDC, we have a legal clinic that is free to all of you. All of you. All of you. So we will give the information and make sure that he passed that out. And it's through SMU, it's through Texas C&M, Texas, and another school as well. But what they do, and these are actual attorneys, and one is a legal clinic. It could be one-on-one or like a classroom virtual, but either or you can choose, all right? And that's to help everything from reading leases, you know, if whatever things that you have to have prior to that, right? If you're doing a brick and mortar, if you don't own the building but you're leasing it, you want to know, triple net, all of this other stuff. But again, believe it or not, you still want to be able to identify that in your business plan. This is, again, for certifications. If you want this, I believe that, are you going to make this available for those? And it'll be on this website. But it's the TWC, Texas Workforce Commission. If you have a small business and you need employees, if you need information about how to get your workforce, your labor force, valuable skill, doesn't cost you anything. Make the most out of things that are available to you. All right, financial data on your small business. This is why the bankers are in the room. They want to make sure that you guys have these in there. These are things that'll be it'll be in a certain section of the business plan. You have your what was the first thing? Cover page. The second thing will be your executive summary, which will be a summation of everything else that I'm just talking about. A lot of times, people will say, do everything else first and then do the executive summary. I'm different. The executive summary is easier to write because you can think quickly. And as you're writing it, even though you don't finish it, then you do with the rest. The rest gives you extra numbers, it gives you information, you can think through what you're doing. It takes a little bit longer time. Sometimes you're writing the other part of the business plan because you've been working on, this is a dream, this is something you've been doing for at least 3, 5, 10 years, right? So now you're actually putting pen to paper and now you're planning on making this come to fruition. But the executive summary should be 1 to 2 pages, simple, that if a banker just had your cover page and your executive summary, it tells them everything they need to know, then all they'll ask for then will be your financial data, your balance sheet, your income statement, and your cash flow statement. Basically your P&Ls, all right? You don't have to feel like, oh my God, I have a 49-page, business plan. It doesn't have to be that long. But it does have to make sense. It has to be consistent. It has to be something that you can manage and you feel good about reading it, Even if you haven't started your business yet, you can start your business plan and start outlining it, and then every other night just go through it and read it and think about it. Does that really make sense? Was I dreaming? Is this what I really want to do? Is this feasible? Do I have the funds to start this? Do I have the, okay, and then go back and tweak it a little bit more. And as you do your investigation, because hopefully nobody started a business just because they woke up one day and said, I want to start a business. Hopefully each of you in this audience, she's smiling. Each of you in this audience took some time, you either saw a need and you said, I can fill that. Or you saw an opportunity and you say, we can do that. Or you were doing something already and someone said, oh my God, we need you. We need so many more of you. Can you do something to help us do X, Y, Z? Same thing. Same thing for the chamber. That's why they're here. Because they see a need for the small businesses. They see a need for their clients, for the community as a whole to grow. Look at Mesquite. You guys are developing a lot. All right, so these are different areas that'll be needed or required in your business plan. And we can talk about that, not today, but as they continue to grow, and hopefully if that's one of the classes. All right, again, critical risk, that's your SWOT. And if you're not familiar with it, that's what it means. It is your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Your strengths should be what you already know, what you already do, the reason why you came into the business. If you're a people person, if you're great at talking, a great speaker, maybe you have a good sales disposition. You may be a perfect salesperson for your own business, but you know what your strengths are. But maybe you're the salesperson, but you don't really do the technology part of the business. So you need someone else. So how do you combat that? So you identify that. So, okay, I know I'm going to need someone who has skills and experience in X, Y, Z. So basically, what are you doing? You're building a team, or you're building at least connections so that you can get the information and the services that you need so that your business can be successful. But you're outlining that in your business plan as well. All right? Technically, this is other things, business plan. These are the appendices, and I know I went through it fairly quickly, but I also, if we have questions or anything like that, that's fine. These are the appendices. These are things that you will need to add to your plan, but usually we call it an F, or, think of a plan just like you remember when you were in school, you had a binder or a book and you had A, B, C, D or something like that. Think of your plan in that way, even though most times it is still electronic, it is a version online. You want to make sure that you identify, from the cover sheet to the executive summary. After the executive summary, and I didn't state that though, to make it easier for someone else to read, you can still do a table of content. So in that table of content, then you can identify what page this is in or what section this is in, so they can go quickly to it instead of having to scroll through a 17 or a 49-page plan, depending upon what your plan requires. And so now they can get to it. So articles of incorporation, you should have that. Limited liability or a corporation or whatever stamped with the state that you're registered in. Your operating agreements, if it requires. Some people don't, but most times, usually if you're a corporation or larger things, partnership, you need to have an operating agreement. A copy of your EIN. If you are a sole proprietor in here, I strongly suggest you look at either becoming a limited liability company or at least getting an EIN so you're not using your social to do business with. You know the day and time that we live in. You need to be, at least that's the first step of separation and protection for yourself, okay? Insurance and bonding certificates. A lot of different industries, you have to be insured or be bonded. Generally, I know construction usually has a lot of bonding requirements, building, things of that nature, trucking, insurance, and bonding, depending upon what you're carrying, if you're doing that. So those type of things. Resumes of the owners and managers. This is where you tout who you are, not that executive summary, not that first page. Tout here who you are. Show your resume. Show that you have 27 years or 15 years and you've been, named the best of the best, and you've done this, and you've managed a $5 million or $5 billion company for XYZ ABC International. You speak 3 languages. Tout that. That's where that goes. So they want to know, who are you and oh wow, I didn't know he was, that's impressive. As long as it's real. Don't pat it, as long as it's real, okay? All right, so recent years, business statements, quarterly annual reports, again, licensing, certificates, your banking contact information. Hopefully you develop a very good relationship with your banker, whoever you establish your business bank account with. Oh no, that look at each other like, talk to him afterwards. But you do want to have a very good relationship, because your lenders are really there to try to help you. It's like that Jerry Maguire movie, help me help you kind of thing. So they're one of helping you because you're helping them. You're using their institution, their funding, and all of that, and you're growing. So, and then 2 years of tax returns and filing. So that's the biggest issue a lot of times with small businesses, because they haven't been in business for 24 months or 2 years, or filed taxes for those 2 years. So make sure you start doing that. All right. Let's see what else. Changes. The business plan should still be ongoing. Imagine it as part of your garden that's growing. Maybe you were growing hot bell peppers or something, and the season happened that it killed all your bell peppers. It didn't work. So now it's getting cold now, so now you're going to grow lettuce, or maybe you're going to grow celery or something else. Just be prepared. You want to be able to outline what those changes are, what your vision is, and how you pivot. That's the biggest issue that we had, pivoting. How do you pivot? Supplies and supply changes. All of this became because of, the shutdown, for what, 18 months? It was 22 months for us. So for the most part, yeah. So a lot of people, their supply chains dried up. If your business is 100% relying upon supplies coming from somewhere else, how do you pivot? How do you make sure you don't have that issue? Again, products and services, if they change significantly, and how you want to adapt to new roles, Some people went from teaching, I guess, in person to virtual, and then more started developing how to create their own curriculums and things like that online. But it was a pivot. It was still under their business name, but they just changed, and they were able to continue. So this is an outline, not this, but what I'm giving you today is a basic outline on what you need to have in and to start your business plan. Think of it, again, the basics: cover sheet, contact information, executive summary. You can have a table of contents, and then all of the other information that is pertinent to the business, running the business, that can change, can pivot or whatever as you continue to grow. These are your resources along with the chamber. The chamber will reach out to us. We will come gladly and do whatever services we can for you. And you can also do some of these virtually. Like I said, the legal clinic that we offer is virtually. We are going to offer, hopefully, all my lenders in here. I want your contacts, because we want to do a meet the greet the bankers one day. So coffee with the bankers or something like that. SBA resources. Don't neglect your SBA website. Sometimes it might be a little difficult to look for it, but even if you call or you say, I want help, I need this, it's usually going to be listed on the SBA resource, or all the way down, it'll say partners, and it'll talk about the chambers, SBDC, SCORE, any of the other partners that are out there, okay? And SCORE is one of your partners as well. Now, Live Plan and Growth Think, these are software plans that can actually help you build your business plan if you choose to use them, all right? I believe Live Plan, I'm not exactly sure if we have a relationship with, we do have a relationship with them, but whether or not we pay for it and you can use it for a small fee, but that's still in the works. But this is what my director has added. I wanted to add one more because last week we were in Nashville, and I had an AI training that rocked me. And I was like, oh man, am I ready to do this? You know, my clients are going to be off the charts as long as I teach them how to build their own everything using AI. So hopefully that'll be something coming down the pike as well. I'm sure I have a lot. I see some nodding, so I probably have some IT people or who are very versed in, you know, artificial intelligence or the use of it or understanding how it can be used in your business. But even still, this is the beginning. This is where we want to be able to start, walk you through it, feel comfortable. You know, I didn't ask, how many have a business plan already? I see 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Everyone else? Why not? Are you just starting your business? Or you've been in business a while? Or you just felt like you never needed a business plan?
I got overwhelmed at market research.
That's why I'm here. Yeah. All right, so market research, and it can be overwhelming. You have to dial down and exactly what it is that you're doing. Anyone else?
Just haven't put the energy into it.
See?
Just haven't put the energy into it.
Why not?
Resources help.
But even before, what caused you to start your business?
Provide a service that I felt was needed.
All right, so you were providing a service that you felt was needed, and you just jumped right in.
Right.
Okay, but you had to create a name for your business. You had to create a venue where you're going to do. Are you going to work from home? Are you going to meet the clients? Are you going to have a brick and mortar? Are you going to rent someplace? You had something that correct. Are you going to travel back and forth? Are you going to be online? Is it all services? See, these things, you're just writing them down in a systematic method so that you can build your plan, and now you have it. And it'll give you the roadmap of where you're going to go from there. If you need to pivot, if you don't need to pivot. Maybe you might grow and decide, you know what, I'm doing really well. I want to franchise. And so now you need to franchise, but you don't want to pay somebody $3,000 just to write up a business plan for you to franchise when I'm giving you the tools right here. Anyone else? So I don't know how much longer I have.
You have 15 more minutes total.
Okay, so I don't want to take up too much time, but if there's any questions. Yes?
Legal clinic, how do we go and get that set up, and what's the contact information? Or do we go to your website to schedule it?
I can see if I can send it, and he can send it to you guys or post it, but it is for, there's a link that we'll send, and then you go through the link, and so because we do want to know who's utilizing it so we can make sure we're getting the best, okay? But yeah, it is a legal clinic, it is true, Dallas Metropolitan, SBDC, but it is for all of our, and you guys can be a Dallas Metropolitan SBDC client because you are in, or your business is in Dallas County. There are 12 SBDC centers, but they're regional, okay? Depending upon where in North Texas. There's actually more than that, but in North Texas. And so they're regional. So depending upon where you are, you can be at the various centers. But I am from the Dallas Metropolitan SBDC, and we're located out of Bill J. Priest, associated with Dallas College. Okay? So yes, legal clinic. I'm definitely going to send that to you. Any other questions?
I have another. So you guys located at the Goldman Sachs program?
Goldman Sachs is located in the same building with us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So my other question with Dallas County, the other resources that you offer, like businesses in Dallas County, like how do we find those? Like for instance, pre-COVID, that's the only thing I know. Pre-COVID, it was like at one time we was trying to get off the dependency of the grid, so they was letting business owners maybe get some grant money for their buildings to try to decrease electricity costs.
To do green building and things of that nature.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's no signs of that program anymore, and I'm just assuming it was because of COVID, because directions change.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we get a list of those? department and y'all can help direct us.
Still go through the chamber, and we can give you, and so my director is Katrina Wade Miller, and she would have a list because it also lists all of the other agencies that's in the building where we're located. There actually is an economic development initiative, you know, so that's still part of that.
So could an owner schedule a meeting with your department to come in and walk through steps and build it, business plan step by step?
Yep, definitely. You sign up, he's going to have the link.
Actually, if you attend the second session, you're going to go even deeper into the SBDC and the resources they have. So stay tuned.
Yes.
That was actually my question.
It's okay, I understand. So a little bit more about me. I know it's about 1 minute, so yeah.
No. You have plenty of minutes. I had a question.
Oh, okay.
So you talked about, you know, if you haven't been in business for 24 months.
Correct.
You have to have some kind of projections. How does business owners or entrepreneurs go about doing that?
So part of it is going to be in the market research. What's the going rate for what it is that you're selling or you're doing? But the other part is you need to start selling something or making money and determining how that money is being generated. So if you sold hot dogs, food truck, and you were doing it out the back of, I don't do this, but people do it, all right? You were doing it out of the back of your station wagon or whatever, if they even have station wagons anymore, but you were doing hot dogs and, you know, little fast meals and stuff outside the disco places because they shut down at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. People drinking, party, they want something quick before they jump in their car, don't want to get a ticket for smelling like booze. But, so you're selling these hot dogs, $10 a piece, whatever, and you know it only cost you $15 to get all the ingredients, $25 to get all the ingredients, but you made $150 selling these hot dogs in front of that place, and you start doing that every weekend. So now you see you're generating cash and you're turning your investment. So from there you can start projecting. If we do this, and this is on the regular nights, if we have the big nights when there are certain events going on, if we're going to have a booth and all this stuff, you can start building projections, anticipated sales to put that in there. But the reason why the lenders want to see 24 months is because they want to make sure that you're not a one-shot wonder, hot hit, and you're gone again. No one wants to loan money. Would you give any of your family money who says, I'm going to do this, and then after 7 days, how many? I want to know, because I'm going to sign up with you as a family member. But I'm just saying, so same thing. So that's why, but the projections do have to be reasonable, realistic, and based off of. You can base it off of what the current sales market in your area, in your community. If you're in lawn care, is it lawn?
Lawn?
Yeah.
No, nutrition and fitness.
That's his fitness. Okay, so in health and fitness, if he notices that if they run a gym or something and they're getting, you know, they're averaging with 20 people, you know, $2,000 a week income, you know, if that's what they're going to, based on the membership. So if that's what he's looking at doing, that's how he can start building his projections. If it's sales, if it's services, but you have to have a baseline from somewhere to build from. You can't just, oh, I'm going to sell my cookies, these cakes, I'm going to sell them for $50 a piece, and I'm going to sell 3,000 of them in this month. You need a baseline, a realistic baseline. Current marketing, and then what you're actually doing.
So, I do financial services, you know, it's more, I guess, intangible than actual physical product. So, does that still apply to intangible?
For financial services, it's more as opposed to a product. So let's say if you're an insurance salesperson, or how many clients do you have? How, you know, do you currently have clients? So a lot of people say, oh, I'm in business, but they hadn't done anything. They can be in business 5 years and have no clients, no money. They've only expensed money to get the, you know, their certifications and all of that. So your biggest thing to determine your projections would be how many clients can you get, service, and how long did it take you to get those clients? That's where we would develop your projections from. So if you're working through a network, if you're through a teacher school, if your products are specific, you know, if you're working through the chamber, if you're offering a discount, everyone who joins the chamber, they get, you know, 50% discount off of your services to do X, Y, Z. I know, I'm just selling, that's it, you know. But something to that, but you do need to have some type of baseline. You know, we need to see what's realistic. Now, again, we can pull marketing analysis and all of that and say, you know, the median range of people in the insurance financial industry is $117,000, you know, a year. You know, if you, based on one person, if you have a 5-person whatever, you can make up to 3 million, that type of stuff. But is that your office, and is that where you are? Mm-hmm. Yes?
On this, an observation, I'm in the financial services also, and I agree you have to have a baseline, but I think at some point you have to look 3 years out,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do. And so like we use asset under management, we use, you know, premiums for applications. You have to have some metrics that you're working with
Mm-hmm.
for, you know, to grow it. We look 3 years out, and what do we need to do 2 years out to get to 3 years out? And what do
Right.
we do this year to get to 2 years out? And if we get to 3 years out, is that gonna we need more people? Do we need, all the things that go with growing, go in the plan?
Mm-hmm.
That's just an observation that we use.
And you guys are in a good market still because they're still anticipating all the baby boomers who are retiring, selling, moving on to start doing stuff with their funds if they hadn't already put it into play. So that might be part of your marketing strategy, having those, how many of you have ever gotten a postcard to come to one of the restaurants or something? I think it's usually the Italian restaurant or something, and yeah, and they do a presentation because it's specific. You've gotten your, you know, information, and you send them out to the people who have the funds that you're looking for in that particular group that you're looking for, and do your marketing that way. But that's helpful for those two, but doesn't necessarily mean you can't do it for others as well. So I get them for funeral planners. I'm like, really? Wow, okay. So, any other questions? Well, I'm going to say give you guys a round of applause and a big hand to you, because you are embarking upon changing your life, your world, and then, you know, connected to your chamber here. I know you can be successful as long as you do the work. Don't sit at home and expect this to come like my grandchildren. As long as you do the work. All right, thank you for coming.